Oh, we are in. Okay, I swear
Yeah.
to goodness. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this. So, Shaco Caitlyn, the Shaco ban, pretty much on par with what we're expecting against Noxus, but Jin Nautilus against Demacia here. Give us gambling. Let's wait until Rez. We're gonna wait until the end of the draft, and I'll give you 2 minutes after the draft, okay, before the game starts.
I'll prep it.
Okay. Ornn banned out from Noxus. I will say, if you take a look at the OPGG, Karpewski has so many Ornn games played recently, so clearly something that he's wanting to try and get in. But you know, honestly, it could be a bait, and they could have something else entirely prepared for Demacia tonight.
It's always interesting, I think, in our LCC seasons. You know, we haven't had too many of them, but the kind of players that have less of a champion ocean or a champion pool and more of a puddle, they tend to see some target bans in at least a couple of their drafts. And then, like, throughout the season, sometimes we see them pick up extra champions, and then they can just end up on the ban table as well. But Karpewski's other, like, highly contested picks, Cho'Gath and Teemo, left up. So he's kind of got his pick of a litter outside of the recent pickup of Ornn. Jarvan coming through as the first pick for DMJ.
Jarvan,
slamming it down.
I do think this is one of Boxy's best champions, so I'm excited to see him here. We do have quite a few interesting things coming through with a NASA
Also in the
span
chat for Nefiri.
Yeah.
Clone Nefiri. Okay, yeah, that makes sense for clone.
It looks like
Nancy, I feel like Nefiri is really that good.
Ziggs Volibear instead is going to be the first rotation here from Noxus. So this Ziggs is a flex. Could go mid, could go bot. Probably won't go top, but it definitely is an interesting pick here. But the Volibear, probably a jungle pick. I don't think we've seen Karpewski play the Volibear at all. And Galio is snagged here for Demacia. So where's this going? Is this Lowell in the mid lane?
Galio mid. I think so. I think this is a slam down. The first perk of the draft, Galio. I haven't seen Lowell play much Galio, but he's honestly not that hard. It's not that hard.
I've heard some cookings going on.
Syndra, okay, so
I think
this is Chestnut.
I think this could be a support Galio. I think this could be
Chestnut. You're right.
Spicy little support Galio. Now it's something that it can help with wave clear in the mid portion of the game and early portion, but that taunt is very unreliable in terms of engage. Now the ulti into taunt in the mid game is going to be huge to help Jarvan, and they should be able to really look for these team fights with it, going together, the Jarvan and Galio playing together. But yeah, there's still a lot to be asked in the lane phase.
Pretty tough to get away from the hero's entrance when you're stuck in a Cataclysm. I mean, if it cut off the rest of the draft and just looks at it in the small microcosm of this first 3 picks, I think the Ziggs, Volibear, Seraphine, I love this as an opening first 3 picks.
Yeah, I mean, Volibear and Seraphine,
a lot of flex and a lot of safety.
They play very well together. The Volibear and Seraphine. It'd be nice to have one more melee engage to help, just further. But that being said, Ziggs is really going to want something beefy. So I'm kind of expecting a tanked top lane to come out. Now the Ornn is banned, and so I'm not sure what that pick will be, but something tanked top lane could be a really good look here for Noxus. And still, we don't know what Starling will be playing. We don't know if this is a Ziggs mid, could be a Seraphine mid, right?
Not enough intel on the board at the moment.
But yeah, Lowell laying down the line.
Flex. It's triple flex, technically. I agree with you. I think Volibear is more likely to go in the jungle, knowing the team. But this is a really interesting startup. And I think the Galio as a flex pick between mid and support is interesting, but we see Syndra already locked in, so I'm pretty sure this could be Chestnut Galio. Cho'Gath band coming out from Nox, so taking away Karpewski's own pick, making sure that Bell doesn't want to play it, also favoring Teemo taking away.
Teemo banned out finally. Kale is the last shared pick.
They're assuming that jungle Volibear as well.
Kale is the last shared pick for these two. Not sure if either will select it here. It feels like they might want something.
The Kale mirror matchup.
When Malphite is hovered, it is selected in. So yes, the Malphite. This is exactly what we're talking about with tank top engage. So Not quite the Ornn that he's been practicing, but Malphite still is pretty linear in terms of gameplay style.
It's on theme, but I'm sizing up Nox, and I'm seeing a lot of magic damage, and I'm seeing a Galio on the other team. I know it's probably support, but it never feels great to be playing MR into Galio.
Varus selected here.
Marvin May.
Actually, a great counter engage AD carry. You can just hit that Malphite with a Chain of Corruption, and anybody that tries to come in onto you is also going to get locked down. So now I will say the Varus has to survive the the Malphite in order to do any of that. So we'll see if he takes barrier or he is able to flash out of one of these Malphite engages. And Rumble is the final pick here.
The Jarvan Galio Rumble ulti combination, I'm drooling for it right now. That sounds so fun. So I'm going to be watching for DMJ to pull that one out. I know Syndric and Varus can do stuff over the top, but those are the three I want to see ult together.
We'll
the other side for Noxus.
Yeah, well,
for the final pick.
They've got one piece
I'm
to
180
round it out.
Holy cow! Yasuo locked in. Has Yasuo? I think this is the first time Yasuo for the LCC.
I think it is. I think it's an LCC first Yasuo.
Is this a Starling Yasuo? Is this the sequel? It was very close.
Yeah, pretty clean.
But it's safe. Get away, right?
All
you
right.
get away. You don't have to flash. That's a W. It's pretty nice. But here's game 3 of the night. We're getting into it. 9:19 is a little later than we like to start, but goodness gracious, we had a heck of a game 1 to start us off. I was slightly behind schedule, but everybody's going to be happy to have the game on screen. I'm excited for it. Checking, we got Birdio for Galio.
Yeah, big game.
We got a nice little
big
Cinder
picks
Spooky
here.
skin.
I know that I've heard rumors about this Galio support for just about a month now, so excited to finally
hear about
see it come
Agatio
out.
picking up the sticks.
Yep.
It'll be a spicy game.
I mean, Bell, when I think back to Season 1, I think the play of the year last year was Team Bell Rose hospitalized, if I remember correctly.
You're correct.
And that was on the Rumble himself, as he really, shredded through that team with the ultimate. So hopefully he can have a performance like he did in that game as well today. They definitely would.
I got a call out there. Did you see that BM from Boxy?
I did, yeah. Throwing a flag down.
Doesn't even take HP. Just throws the Jarvan. Just throws the standard.
He's trying to fight, man.
Right?
He's taking it serious.
Let's check in on items, and everybody's purchased items. Nothing unusual. Any weird runes? The lethal tempo out of Volibear. I don't know that. Bad in the jungle. Jungle Volibear player.
Yeah, I mean a couple different picks, right? We haven't
looks pretty normal.
We haven't seen. Oh, nice little double stun from Yoni on the chestnut. We haven't seen a lot of these champions played by these players. Even if we've seen a lot of Malphite in the league, this is Karpiewski's first, and this is definitely a first Ziggs in the LCC for Agateo. I believe
first for Starling.
I believe it's not Clone's first Volibear game as well. So
I think so.
a lot of new here on stage. Now, I can, without giving too much away, I can confirm these teams have been practicing quite a bit. So yeah, I don't think that they're trying anything that they haven't practiced before. But that being said, this is a stage first. As Bell actually pushes just too far in, and because the flamethrower damage is going to eat a turret shot there, so
Raise the towers.
yeah, pretty long. I swear they added like 2% range on those. As Chestnut is going to go in, land a taunt, and land some damage, get out, and it's a lot of AP damage back, but Galio's happy to take it. Scatter the Weak will come through. A nice flash out from Starling. Starling will escape, but a gorgeous gank here as neither Jarvan nor Syndra need to blow flash, and already they're abusing the new player. Welcome to the LCC, Starling.
That's right. And I think so. Fresh ward placed down as a result, making sure that he isn't vulnerable to the follow-up gank. Should know that Jarvan is going to be on the top side.
They got to go through a lot here.
Lockdown.
Heal is going to come out. Chestnut is trying to buy some space. Agateo is going to flash forward. That's barrier out from Inferno. The stun coming through, but it's only the slow onto Chestnut, so he will escape. Clone, meanwhile, topside flashes for the stun onto Bell, gets the counter flash out. So a bunch of summoner spells
it's available in the
blown.
river. We may see a refight onto this first spawn of the Scuttle. Smite's available for both junglers, and it will be secured by Boxy. See if they both try to contest into the bot side. Simon doesn't have Prio, but Starling is low HP. Looks like Boxy electing to just go ahead and get
Inferno very low down here. It's very easy for Ziggs to just accidentally land a bomb and kill from this point, but Agateo extraordinarily low on mana. So something that this is very common for people to pick up a champion fresh to be out of resources, you know, at an inopportune time. So no mana here, unable to capitalize, and Demacia will get the back. Will actually secure that and get that away. So, checking the scoreboard, they are a 10 CS up. So a nice lead down there in the bot lane for the Gladiators. Boxy's topside here. Karpewski, no ulti, but does have flash. Flag and drag through. Respect flash out. And
I think this is the most aggressive jungling we've seen throughout the season so far out of Boxy. He's aggressively ganked mid. It wasn't even a transition gank. He walked all the way around and then looked for the gank, and then did his blue buff, and then went up topside. Engage here from Starling, speaking over it, but it will not connect any further.
Yeah, nice.
Then he ganks top, clears his wolves and Gromp, and then re-ganks top again. So extremely aggressive gank coming out of
Karpewski might have an angle here. Yeah, there's no flash, no ultimate, so he can't actually finish it off. So again, like, NOX is so close here in the side lanes, but unable to capitalize. And Boxy already with a couple of solo lane ganks, blowing the solo laners flashes.
Starting out this dragon.
Yeah, it is alone, but it's off of vision.
Off vision. Boxy walking over now. They have him on vision, so he's going to pull it. It should be safe take. I don't think it doesn't. Yeah, no idea from them. They have complete knowledge of where Boxy's been. I really like this initiative from Clone. They said, we know like where the Jarvan is. I'm just going to take this dragon alone. Teleport's coming out of both mid laners. They're going to hit 6 off of the next creep wave, 6 off of that creep for Starling just now.
Clone is a level up, by the way, and he's Boxy just hit 5, but he's going straight to the first spawning of grubs. So he's trying to capitalize in double objective here, as we see some of our laners start to hit 6. This is Chestnut going in, lands the single taunt onto Yoni, but a nice stun coming through, a lot of follow-up damage, and Chestnut is very low here. They might actually be able to capitalize. The Chestnut will just walk out.
Boxy just discovered Clone on the grubs. First grub's already taken.
Starling early on the roam, but Bell early on the roam as well. We'll have to see how this goes down. Boxy now flashing out, and they do have 3 here. It's going to be an ultimate in, follow-up ulti, and it's a quick and instant first blood as Boxy is deleted. Lowell here, but it's a gorgeous wind wall from Starling as it's interrupted the unleashed power. Clone is going to take the objective and then come back to the fight. So it's 1-to-1 in kills, but yeah, Lowell is going to be kicking himself that he threw that ulti into the wind wall.
Yep, all 3 void grubs secured for the Noxian Gladiators. Clone with really great macro plays, finding the right timings to start these objectives, and Noxus collapsing 3 over before Simon's able to rotate. So Simon running the same problem he saw last week, where he's finding success in the lane, but then when the play proceeds to top or bottom, he's a little bit late on the rotation. So you see him finding the tempo to get out there, make sure he is there at the start of the fight with his team. But the first unstoppable force into last breath combo of the game finds the first blood. Well played from Noxious.
Yeah, very clear, very coordinated. There's no hesitation from Starling to go in on that objective. So despite being a substitute, only joining the team 2 days ago, and as this is a moment here for Chestnut and Inferno, but the barrier is going to be forced out. Yoni is very low here, but neither Inferno nor Yoni will drop, and Inferno has no mana at this point. Agateo with just enough might be able to find an angle.
Yep, double tier in the bot side for the Noxus. They're definitely just looking to play these fights long. They want to poke them down. And Chestnut finding some decent engages, but they're only able to put damage through onto Yoni, and it's not sticking quite enough. He's saying hello to Clone, getting in his face, and then flashes away. I'm not sure the flash was necessary.
You know, clone here to try and turn the tower off. I actually like this look from Noxus, but Chestnut and Inferno, it's a heads-up play. They back off. They see a little bit of pressure. It's a flash
Oh,
Q, and Yoni almost goes down, but just misjudged the damage. So, you know, looking for the play here. At least looking, Jason.
both teams pretty much out of resources, but Clone has the flank angle. Foxy's cleared vision. They know he's in the area, so I think both teams probably just going to reset off this.
Yeah, and reassessing where we're at, this clone
Clone
does
left
stay,
alone.
actually. It's only clone, so the taunt will go down, and he is level 6, but there's no... And the ultimate is going to come through. Inferno, a lot of damage down onto him, but it is a 1 versus 3, so I think he thinks better of it, and he decides to leave. So at the end of the day, that's kind of ultimate use for nothing there, as Chestnut and Inferno will look to reset. Agateo with a nice
we're seeing the
combo
results
play
right now of the early jungling pathing decisions that Boxy made. Not that they're incorrect, but that like he was unable to pick up much of substance with his 3 or very early ganks, and Clone has had the tempo ever since. Trying to DMJ needs to regroup and get their tempo back, get their feet under them. This Zig Seraphine bot lane is not one that I'm really anxious to see them ganking. It's it's Zig Seraphine. They're so safe. They want to stay so far back. I want to see the focus down onto Starling, this new player on Yasuo, a vulnerable mid laner. This Rumble, who should be dominating the top lane matchup pretty much all game.
I mean, yeah,
the main power
the fact
point
that
is that
Karpiuski is only 6 CS down, he's surviving really well. As this is going to be another angle, it's the taunt onto Yoni as the ulti comes through, but it does not connect to Infernal. So Cataclysm through onto Yoni, and that will be a kill for
the Chain
of Corruption onto Agateo. But he is able to flash out afterwards. So they had used all of their follow-up CC onto Yoni. So nice little look there. They do get the flash for the ulti. Inferno should be happy with that, but he wasn't even able to land either a Q or an auto attack on Yoni, so not even an assist
engaged mid. Clone will connect with a stun, but takes tower shot and walks away afterwards. DMJ rotating immediately to try to answer, but not quite necessary. Grubs are up. Dragon is
Agateo
up.
looking
Inferno
for
dropped
solo
low.
kill. Yep, very low there.
Clone taking the battle on the top side, but DMJ has a huge numbers advantage, and the hero's entrance is available.
Yeah, Equalizer is up. That's double harpoons, and he's now going to start to roast him with the ultimate and the flipper, the flash in for the auto. But it's the follow-up from Chestnut, and the comp is coming alive. This is a beautiful solo kill bot side. Finally, the ultimate's coming down. They combo the top and the mid onto Bell, but Bell is surviving. A gorgeous, it's a triple kill for Bell, top side.
Bell's
as
going
the
crazy.
Justice pop off.
Would you say he roasted them all there?
He roasted 3 of them, Jason.
Holy
he didn't get them all,
what a play
but he got
from
3 of them.
Bell and Chestnut showing the connection. They've got that synergy. And well played from DMJ to reset this game. They're now sitting with the gold advantage, 5-2. What a play out of the top side. With the Scatter of the Week now landing on Yoni, there's no Unleashed Power, so I think he should be able to walk this out.
Yeah,
a phenomenal turnaround there.
We've got Holy Crap, the Power of Friendship in chat. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely paying off there. That is exactly what you want out of your level 6 support Galio ultimate. Huge impact. The fact that Bell did not go down there is absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, Clone was having a great game up until that Rumble just shoved him out of that objective. So we'll look to see Noxus bounce back. I don't think they're out of it there. As
just
they pick
down
up
on manpower on the play.
So Cloud Drake, by the way, that's 3rd objective. So it will officially be first tower that goes down will be the Feats of Strength. So Feats of Warfare going over to Bell. And
in that bot tower, truly, with Zig Seraphine set up, and they've already got 2 plates. We're about to, in about a minute and a half, we're going to lose those turret plates, and this is Ziggs who can take that with 1 wave.
Yeah, we're definitely at that point. Karpiuski actually kind of evening this lane out pretty well. These Qs do a lot of damage despite only having Bomby and Spectres.
Wondering if Rumble's
Chain of Corruption there, trying to catch Agateo asleep on the recall, but it misses by about a half second, maybe even a quarter of a second. That Chain of Corruption will miss.
Want that one back. Like the energy going for that. Checking, testing them, making sure they're paying attention.
Yeah, Yoni definitely, paying attention there. He was able to cancel his recall, and so just in case.
I didn't get a chance to mention it with all the action that started popping up, but as I said, that I don't really want to see them ganking bot lane because it's a Zig Seraphine. They force the gank bot with the Cataclysm and make me eat my own words. It's a good pick out from DMJ earlier.
They definitely have a lot of
And
survivability, but they are
on Vision
mobile mages, so yeah, it's kind of the catch-22.
Oxy walking over could be caught out here, but
Yeah.
he should be able to walk away.
So the clone will just walk out here for the most part. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it is going to come down to tower pressure, and
Huge damage bottom onto Inferno. He's caught out by a Seraphine E, and then the Mega Inferno bomb over the top will drop him very low. Already out of mana, so I think a little bit more.
yeah. And
CS
did you see
advantage
that
going
back?
to
He got that
Big
back right in the face of a bomb. I honestly do think that bomb is enough to kill him if it hits. So another, just a fraction of seconds there, as half the tower will, only half of its life remaining here.
So DMJ aware of the first tower objective. They roam Simon down to answer.
Big
But,
find here from
huge
Luel.
damage.
Agateo, heal, flash out, but the charm through. It is going to be the play down as Chestnut comes through to try and follow up. A gorgeous little engage here from Chestnut as the taunt will land onto Clone, and Starling flashes forward directly into a taunt. We see Boxy on the back. He's going to Cataclysm in onto Agateo. Agateo will be able to get out with a gorgeous satchel jump, and Boxy will drop instead. Oh my gosh, a pixel perfect satchel jump from Agateo.
So very close there. One more auto attack would have sealed the deal and potentially set up quite a chain reaction. But as it is, Noxus able to disengage and take their one for none. Happy to extend that a little bit longer. I would say extend their lead, but they're behind technically in the gold count. But where these dragons and objectives are, I feel like Clone has had a really big advantage over Boxy so far. But Clone finding much fewer kill assists through his ganks. Boxy really making those happen, showing pressure in the lanes.
Yeah, I think at this point when you've got 5 kills and 4 of them are on your top laner, you do kind of want your top laner showing up with equalizer to these team fights. So I'd like to see this next dragon. I'll pull it up with objectives. We've got it in just over a minute now. Starling is looking for a play here. Nice little poke here onto Luel. Looks like they're going to go for Herald here. Yeah, but
you can tell he's playing Yasuo from the way that he is. What a champion that is. The nice trades from him, really making the Berserker Greaves and Vamp Scepter work for him.
All right.
Good footwork out of Inferno.
It's the collapse in. Clone is here. And the ultimate goes down onto Boxy. Boxy is going to get pretty much just roasted alive. And that is going to be a kill bot side and a kill here in the team fight. So Nox is picking up cross-map kills.
Engage onto Simon.
Clone is going in, but this might be a little bit too far as the taunt comes through the unleashed power for Luel. And that is a counter kill right back. So he kind of donates that one over. Inferno unfortunately getting picked off. And that is first tower bot side. So while that fight is happening, they do secure first tower. A lot of things going over for the side of Noxus. Clone just giving one over right at the end of that play, but
no storm breath, no last wind or no storm, no last wind available. I'm not sure why he re-engaged there, but did buy enough time for bot lane to take that tower, push in deep. They get to pick up a solo kill onto Inferno in the 2v1, and I think there's not much way for Varus to play that 2v1. It's just going to run out of mana trying to hold towers. And a third dragon on the map now will bring Noxus to Soul Point if they can secure it.
This is, it's not Soul, but this does start to feel like these objectives are very important to show up to. Bell's Equalizer is still on, still on cooldown here. Karpiewski is going to want to be able to show up to this team fight as well. So I think this might be our first 5 versus 5 if our top laners show up to this. That being said, it looks like the fight might start without them, and they are just going at each other topside.
Neither top has their ulti available, so I think just duking it out for the moment. Bell just got his, so both top laners trying to reset to be available for the teleport. It looks like Nox is just going to claim it, unless Boxy goes over the wall here.
He's on a ward here. The Seraphine ulti instantly into it, but a nice scout of the week onto 2, the Cataclysm onto both, and the follow-up is there, but Boxy is already dead. Crimson Yoni has to leave. Starling finding good utility on the back as the Equalizer comes across Agateo, so Agateo can no longer be there. Yoni is going to walk into the Equalizer, and at the end of the day, it's a 3-for-1. Now, Dragon did go over to Noxus, so that puts them one step closer to the Soul, but a nice teleport in from Bell in order to pick up some fights and kind of turn that fight. I think that was ended up being the
He had
difference.
teleport available, but decides not to invest it to come down. Perhaps felt like it was too late, too little, too late to make anything happen.
Yep,
Best
so
TP to just come back to top sides.
at the
He'll
end of the
be up
day,
for the next dragon.
Lowell will have to expend his teleport topside now in order to counter that push top, and we do see a pause coming in. Unfortunate, never something that you really want to see.
Hopefully this is a short pause, but let's take a look at the lane by lane and the gold totals that we see across the board. 6,700 gold on Bell off the back of his 502 scoreline, so very well played from him. So far, 5,800 gold for the counterpart Malphite, but Malphite always a utility stick. We're back to regular play. Slight advantage in gold, 500 to clone. I think that makes sense from the objective and clear that he's been playing rather than ganking heavily. Just going for that farm, his individual gold. 6,800 gold for Lowell, the first pick of the draft. 1,000 gold up on the counterpart Starling. Definitely all of that assistance from his team backing him up in that matchup is showing there. And then bot side, I think I've also frozen.
Yep.
Roughly 600 gold or so advantage over to Agatio on the Ziggs. I think this Ziggs Seraphine bot lane is super safe. And it doesn't look to find you a bunch of kills or advantage, but it does just try to provide pressure, prio, and like tower shaking.
Yeah, I think it's all about fighting in the mid game.
Yeah.
That's really where these champions come alive. And then Ziggs has so much tower pressure as well, as they are going to put Herald mid here. And Inferno is 1 versus 3. He does have to flash out. I think that was a wise flash. And it does look like the Chain of Corruption is going to miss as the Equalizer comes across 3. And this will be Cataclysm,
oh, what a Cataclysm
directly in. Agateo has to flash right out, but it's a respect flash from Yoni, and Karpiewski now has to get out as well. But Bell is there. One more Harpoon could be enough. Crimson Yoni with a huge 3-man snare right at the end.
Crimson Yoni to you.
he makes sure that they know the name,
Nice
they know the
play
man.
with the snare.
And yeah, great play in order to make sure that his team gets out alive. But a great look from
Great plays on both
Demacia.
sides. I liked the engage.
Yep, honestly, really
Not
nice
able to
play
quite
from
make it stick.
Demacia, but Nox is able to weather that storm there. So we're
The
about even
Cataclysm
on gold
caught
here.
Agatio like midair. That was awesome.
It looks like Agateo is going to look to satchel in. They're looking to try and kill Boxy, but he will just flag and drag out. So I think going onto the Varus would have been the wiser play. At the end of the day, they yeah, find neither. So a little bit of a reset here, Jason. We'll be able to reassess, but Otacon could be the next objective up. We also have a dragon. Soul Dragon is in 2 minutes. So a couple different options. This Varus has no flash. Clone is going to come in from the side, land the stun. Crimson Yoni is there, lands quite a bit of damage as the dunk from Noxus comes through. Chestnut ults, but the stats come through a bit too late, and Clone instead will just completely eliminate the Varus. Multiple tower shots
Lethal
going
Tempo
in.
is showing up there. This is the wildest jungle Volibear build, by the way. This Cosmic Drive Rush with the Merc Dreads and three long swords is crazy. Or 3 daggers. That's
triple
so
dagger.
wild.
Yep.
But the move speed's working for him, and this is an Ocean Soul map, so he's not going to get the extra move speed from a Cloud Soul. Cloud Dragon map, but still, he is zooming around. He's looking for engage after engage, and just playing off the back of knowing that his team is going to be able to follow him. So now that we're in an interesting area, because Otacon is up, neither team is deciding to address bottom. Bottom's just kind of a largely neutral state, and we're behind the tower. That's Malphite ult down.
That he went for the angle, but I think he just got clipped into the wall there. I'm not quite sure, but it didn't connect all the way through, and so that is their best immediate form of engage on cooldown.
DJ would never.
Now there are still ways for this team to look, right? Clone's ultimate is about to come up. They still, I do think that's the only knockup that they have though. So yeah, it looks
Yep,
like
it's their
recalls are
the
going to be
satchel
channeled.
is also there, but it's the main setup that they have. Sure, satchel's nice to have for the defense.
That's true.
A question in the chat from Gator. Give me my Gator. Does it make more sense to have J4 hold his ult? I just noticed they all flash and react so well when he initiates it. It has to get so far from the team. That's always something you have to balance with Jarvan, I think, in team fights is where do I use my Cataclysm? Do I use my flag and drag forward and then Cataclysm backwards to build like a literal wall for the front line? Like they can't get past it, or
I
do you
think
go
it's a
deep?
fair question, but anytime you can trade a 1 minute cooldown for a 5 minute cooldown, that's really favorable
Exactly.
for you. So I think you do just burn flashes and then look, and then you've got a 4 minute window, right? So it's just capitalizing on that window. But that being said, we do have Soul being started here. It is going to be a 5v5. Lowell is not with his team. He's on the wrong side of this fight. He's looking for this flank here. So Boxy in. He collects 4. And it's a mega roast over the top as Agateo is alive. He will finally drop. Starling's trying to do what they can. It's 1-for-1 so far as the ulti comes through. Clone is able to pick up Soul, so that's Soul at least, but a flash forward, Crimson Yoni, a lot of damage through, and that will be a 4-for-1 as the Demacian Justice win the team fight and instantly ping onto the Otacon. But Clone,
Our friendship may have secured
that,
the fight, but the Soul goes over to Clone.
So, yeah, Clone with the wherewithal in the middle of that team fight to still pick up the Soul. That's huge. And instead of going straight to Otacon, they're going to take mid-tier 2, but they have a cannon and 2 casters. I'm not sure they have... Yeah, they definitely do have enough.
Yep, these towers drop quickly when you've got to bring the whole tower team to bear on them. Unable to get all the way across the map to secure that Otacon at this early in the game. Everybody would have been back up.
The new towers are so weak. They're so strong, but they're so weak, you know? Like, they do a lot of damage, but...
Yeah, towers are strange.
Yep.
We
weird.
definitely, I think, still will see... TJ, you definitely missed your fair share. I was the cause of this.
Okay, Karpewski is looking here. He gets a ward down. Yoni is...
He doesn't have this unstoppable force, so I think they're just going to watch him walk away. Both teams... 5 here for Noxus, and now Bell realizing
Clone is in here. This is all 5, though. I think, so what they've done here, Jason, they've used their tempo in order to get mid-tier 2, but this has given away the tempo in order to take topside. And so Noxus and...
They had a better option here, but we see Bell walk out to bot side, and Lowell, I assume, was chunked or needed to purchase, goes for a reset, and now will burn his teleport back here. Oh, and they end up just contesting vision.
Yeah, and Noxus just gives it. It's like they admit that they don't want this fight because they are losing these fights, and so Lowell did teleport back just in case, but... Very interesting, like, cat and mouse game right here with whether or not they actually want to fight. Let's check out what we've got.
A bit of a misplay from...
a big chunk from Lowell onto Clone before this fight starts. That is huge. He tries and gets some, some fruit there, but
I want to shout out this
impactful.
704 Rumble scoreline at the moment. Always keep your eye on the equalizer in these team fights. It's going to be pivotal.
I mean, look at Noxus. They are just seeding pressure here. They're going to go collect this mid wave, and they're very unsure
they have
of what
soul,
to do here.
And they're within 1,000 gold of the enemy team, but just deciding that we can't take these fights. I think off the back of empirical data, they feel like we can't win them, and just spreading out across the map instead of committing for anything. Spending a lot of time just walking around in the jungle.
I mean, Agateo going all the way bot lane. This should be this top tower. Yeah, so this is going to be more team goal collected for Demacia, and they have 5 up here, so they should at least get something bot side, but yeah, it looks like Demacia
finally pushing out the waves in mid and bottom, but a minute too late, I think. If you're not going to contest the objective, go do something. Don't look at it. Don't watch it happen.
Yeah, I do think Bell needs to be the one to recall and collect the spot wave, because he is the one on the side of Demacia with teleport here. An odd set of macro plays here, as neither team feels comfortable starting this objective, but both of them need to heed respect to it. So I think that's what we just saw, Jason, is neither of this team actually wants to fight Otacon, but they can't just leave it alone, and you have to show up with 5.
Cheeky reset, cancel. This has given Boxy some time to clear his jungle. I think as a jungler, like these kind of plays stall you so hard. So I think it's going to feel very nice for him to go clear through, and he's going to be catching up a bit on Clone, who's unable to clear. Was forced to just catch the mid wave, and his camps are all sitting up at the moment. We may have a bit of just a full reset across the map for both teams after some
calming down a bit.
Perhaps blunders on the macro decision making.
Definitely calming down a bit. I understand the hesitation from Demacia to take the fight. I do think that it's a good fight angle, and so that's something that they can look back at in review. But that being said, they didn't want to push anything away. They didn't want to take a fight they're not comfortable with, and they realize that they've got a bit of a lead. They're down on the objective here, right? But they do have a bit of a gold lead, so they don't want to just blunder away a lead in a bad fight that they're not comfortable with. So
they've got gold lead, but I feel like the effective gold is pretty much even, or they're behind between the soul and the feats of strength. I want to call out this Abyssal Mask purchase from Chestnut, which is going to buff up both Simon and Ballistics damage in these team fights. I really like that pickup. I think it's smart. I'm concerned about Boxy. We had in the chat point out that they're picking up a Hex Drinker as opposed to perhaps a more standard pickup. Never mind.
It's a flash in, and we do have to say a lot of ultis are up here for this fight. So ultimate's coming out, flash is coming out, Karpewski in, and the ultimate is just going to miss again. That's so unfortunate, but Chestnut will just get pretty much instantly demolished as the equalizer comes across the back, but it's not actually a lot of effective damage. Boxy being chunked down now, the Super Mega Inferno Bomb comes through, and it's so far it's just Chestnut that goes down. So a lot of summoner spells, a lot of ultimates being cast here for either team as the flag and drag onto Agateo in the back, but at the same time Starling looks for Yoni, and it's oh my gosh, both junglers fighting across the fronts. They both drop. Agateo will pick up the objective, the tower as well.
I think Inferno was finding a lot of nice space to play in there, trying to get as many autos as possible, but just not able to do quite enough damage. There's definitely some cases where you want to go Mob Malmortius on the Jarvan, but man, missing the raw HP stats for until you get your third item really hurts if you're going this double full AD build. And Elder Dragon now on the map, 30 minutes in. Who's going to take it? DMJ has shown that they can take these team fights, and Noxus isn't really favoring them. But off the back of some success in the mid lane, they may try to poke them out and just zone control the area.
Yeah, very essential to know that Agateo does still have flash. There were many flashes used, but Agateo still has flash for this team fight. So look for him to get cataclysmed and flash out and look to create more space with the satchel as we prepare for the Elder Dragon fight of the match. Again, Demacia and Justice up about 1,000 gold, but it is soul and feats on the side of Noxus and the Gladiators as they look to drop the axe down onto the Justice here.
Yep, I think for Nox, I'm really looking to see how Clone plays these team fights. We need to see Unstoppable Force connecting onto either Lowell or Inferno, or I don't want to see it come out at all. Because if we aren't able to set Starling up for some combos in these team fights, it's really difficult for him to do much except just provide a win wall and a body to take damage. Agateo watching over in the side.
Noxus has the priority on vision here, but that is Satchel on cooldown now, so Boxy's going to look in, and it's pretty much straight instant engaged. It is going to be a 4-man knockup as Clone is going to start to go down. It's Elder going over to the Justice, and it's already 2 dead as Noxus begin to drop, and the Demacian, do you believe, Jason? It's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 3 or 4, it's gonna be all of them as Agateo. No, he sneaks
out just a little bit. The last tick of the Elder Dragon will not finish him. But Simon picking up the Elder Dragon and securing his team the team fight with the flank from the bot side. What a cataclysm into another disgusting equalizer to win DMJ that Elder Dragon. And Agateo still being chased away. He's not going to be able to reset to help with this clear. Chestnut just happy to chase him along the way. So they now a reset out of DMJ should pings down on the Baron. Will they try to rush it down?
Yeah, I think Baron is a fine call. You could be reset into Baron as well. Honestly, a reset into Baron increases the chances of Noxus showing up for the fight. And when you have Elder, okay, so instead they're going to take
Start off with
Otacon instead.
TP from Bell to come he's healthy and strong.
No
Objectives on the bot side of the map, and the waves are pushed, so I think they've got the space to make this happen. Just worried that Boxy and Chestnut are not feeling the healthiest as they take down Otacon. Half HP now. Wards down from Noxus onto the Baron. They know that they're in this area.
Yeah, Inferno's
cannot see the Otacon.
Inferno is on the run. This is very important. Clone is going to look to try and get it. They have Ruinous, so they want to take this fight. There's so many reasons to take this fight with both Ruinous and Elder, but instead they will back it out as they are very low in HP from the last fight. Jason,
as a Malphite player, I was drooling right there. There was a 5-man unstoppable force in that Tri-Brush. Oh, man. I know Yasuo's not there. Starling's pushing in the bot side, trying to provide pressure, get some gold for themselves. But, it looked so juicy. Tower will drop, but teleport will still come through. Simon, half HP, just decided going to aggress onto Starling. They just
oh my gosh, look at that chunk damage.
Take it all back.
But look at Noxus has started this on tempo, so Starling is teleporting back to the base, and Karpiewski is not there. So they are going to spot this out, and Demacia is here for this fight. It's a flash forward from Inferno, a flash from Chestnut. Will he be able to connect with the taunt? Instead, it just creates space as the Rex of Gnosis has the lead. He ults into the fight. It's the Seraphine ulti over the top, and it's a steal. It will be his life for the steal, but he does pick up the Baron. Will that mean that
an encore out of the Crimson Yoni to really help them set that up? Great play from them to get out and then turn. They give one over to trade the Baron, wall the Elder Dragon and the Otacon buffer on. Sorry, Elder Dragon, I believe, has fallen off, but I think that's a trade they'll take as they look to defend their base from the 5 DMJ.
These will not count as kills. These are basically free lives here, as Lowell will instantly get popped. Nice follow-up from Agateo and Karpiewski to combo their ultis there. And now without their mid laner, it looks like the rest of Demacia doesn't want to take this fight without Lowell himself. How much time is left on these?
Got a little bit of a window. It's about an 87-second cooldown for Malphite ulti at this point in the game. So DMJ has an opening. They can still play with their Otacon buff, but I don't think they're going to want to take a team fight while Lowell's in the grave.
Yeah, Yoni walking in here. Boxy is going for a little steal on blue, so instead of playing with the team here, they're looking to fight. You can see Noxus wants this fight while Lowell isn't here, but they might not have properly calculated that Lowell is finally here, and it's a flash out from Yoni. A beautiful flag and drag along the back, but Boxy with a 4-man cataclysm into the Goomba stomp from Chestnut. He collects all 4, and they still have the Otacon buff, so as they drop and as Demacia is continually dying, it's actually not that bad for them. So they pick up 2. Clone is going to flash that out. It's there's the shutdown. That's a big 1,000 gold shutdown going over. And it actually, Jason, I will say it looks like Otacon ran out in the middle of that team fight. So the Inferno and Chestnut kills are actual kills, but the Boxy...
It must have been while the damage was midair on Inferno, because I was watching him.
It had to be midair, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, a bit of a miscalculation on the timing for Simon's return, but then a miscalc on the duration of Otacon. Big play from Noxus, opening the gates in the mid lane, going to take down this first inhibitor for themselves.
So they are looking to even up on the inhibitors here. It's now 1 for 1. Yeah, kind of a back and forth game here. It does feel like Noxus has found a way to swing things back into their favor. They pick up a big 1,000 gold shutdown.
Part of it is just having that Ocean Soul. I mean, huge.
Yep.
That fight goes for so long. There's a lot of healing coming through. I mean, Volibear is feeling so healthy at the end of each fight. They've got Spirit Visage and a Seraphine behind them. I don't see a whiff of heal cut on the DMJ's team. I think somebody's going to have to pick that bad boy up so they can stop this Seraphine just healing over the top. I think that's how you guys played your team composition last week for Zon.
Yeah, we've okay, it looks like both these teams are setting up here. Ultimates are up, notable flashes, most of them down, but Agateos is up. Yeah, on the side of Demacia, Bell is a massive problem, but Lowell's flash and Inferno's flash are both down for this next fight. So pay attention to that. Let's see if Karpiewski can collect here.
Either team willing to play the split push angle. Of course, Noxus has both their TPs on cooldown and Gatio really, as the marksman defend essentially for this team. He doesn't want to be on that side lane pushing out alone. But everybody, it's all in for these team fights. There is no split pushing, macro decision making going on. Both teams are clearing their waves and they're coming to fight.
Yeah, I mean,
Honestly, as a spectator, I love to see it.
at this point, they're
It's
definitely
minefield.
ram jamming every single time, right? It's gonna be Jarvan ulti into Galio ulti over the top. We know what's coming. It's just, can you survive it? We need to see a little bit of poke damage to go down early, and that is what Lowell likes to find onto Clone, as there is some honey fruit there. He will try to heal up a bit, and we'll start to heal on this dragon. And the second Elder Dragon of the match is going to start to go down here, as they find the connection onto Lowell, and Lowell drops. What can Inferno, Bell, Boxy, and Chestnut do as Chains of Corruption will land onto Clone? It's gonna chain through. Already at half though, Boxy looking for the Ango. What can he do? Clone now walking out, actually trying to find some space. They look for the fight, a massive taunt coming out, and the roast over the top as Yoni and Agateo. Agateo has to flash out, but it's Boxy on the side. It's so low, and it's going to go over to Starling. Starling picks it up, the new player. It's a big shutdown, and it's an ace for the Noxus Gladiators.
Yep. Here's the TP. That'll be game for Noxus. It was a close game. It went back and forth a lot, but it looks like they're going to secure it here. Off the back of Simon, he's gone for that flank in every one of these Dragon team fights, and the Crimson Yoni placing wards in there will catch them out this time around.
Starling, the new player, the newest member of the LCC, securing the Elder Dragon when it mattered most, when the cards were on the table, and both junglers were in the pit, able to take it for their team and win the game. Congratulations to Noxus on picking up the win. Big win there.